Hello and welcome to a quick tutorial about blinks. Blinks sound like something that would be really simple, but it's actually really easy to make them look bad. So I'm going to show you a quick trick that I use to get them done clean and also efficiently. So as you see here, I have a open source character named Jasmine Rose. I will put a link in the description to where I downloaded her from. And I just put her in a quick pose. Nothing fancy. You can see I have a C-curve line of action in here, so all the fundamentals are here. Her screen left eye is slightly more open than her screen right eye, and this is to show that she is looking off to her right or screen left. It helps to open the side of the face that the character is looking towards. So since she is looking to her right or screen left, I have this side of the face more open, and then I curved her neck and her face to give a C curve in that shape. But before I get started, emotion changes how a character blinks. So what I'm going to be showing you is how a generic character would blink. If she was angry, her blinks would be more controlled, and that would make them snappier, faster. When you're angry, everything in your face kind of bunches up into this area of your forehead. And anger is also a very external emotion. When you are angry, you are focused on an object or something outside. You're not inside of your mind when you're angry. So you're going to keep your focus on that object or whatever it is in front of you, which will make your blinks faster because you don't want to lose contact with what you're angry about. Now, if your character was relaxed or sad or something like that, that is more of an internal emotion. So that would mean your blinks are slower, they're softer, because you're not focusing on something in the real world, you're focusing on something that you're thinking about. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to animate something in between, and this is going to be your basis so that you start here, and then if it's angry you can take this and make it snappier, or take this and make it softer for when your character is sad. Another thing to note is that when a character blinks, your upper eyelid is very strongly connected to your eyebrows. So when your upper lids move, your eyebrows should also be moving. We also have more control over our top eyelid than we do over our bottom eyelid. There are a lot of muscles up above the eyelid that can push the eyelid down, but the bottom lid is relying solely on the cheek scrunching upwards, so we can't lift our bottom lids, say, up this high. That just doesn't look right. That's because it's not natural. So since I have a key set on frame 1 for everything, I'm going to go forward 2 frames. I'm going to grab both of these eyelid controls on the upper lid, and I'm going to move them most of the way down. As you can see, because one eye was open slightly more than the other, I'm going to take this eyelid and I'm going to bring it down to match. Now I'm going to grab all of the eyelid controls, now that it's most of the way down, and close them all at once. So you can see the bottom lids aren't moving very much, and the top lids are doing most of the work. Next, I'm going to grab both eyebrow controls, and I'm going to lower them. Everything's squishing down into the center right now. I'm going to take all of those controls. Even though I have auto key on, I'm just going to set a key anyway, just to make sure that all of these transforms have a key set on them. And I'm going to middle mouse drag that key over 1 frame, and I'm going to set another key, so that is held for 2 frames. The eyes close over 2, hold for 1, and then I'm going to take my open frame, and I'm going to click over 1, 2, 3 frames after the close position. So they open on 3 frames. So that's 2 frames down, 1 frame hold, and 3 frames up. This isn't a finished blink, but we're most of the way there. What I'm going to do next, now nothing in real life is static, so having this closed the exact same on 2 frames isn't quite right. So I'm going to take the second held frame and I'm going to squish the eyebrows just slightly further. Take the bottom lids and push them up slightly more, But now I'm going to take the cheek controls, which didn't have keys on them previously. So I'm going to go ahead and put keys on all the frames that we already had. I'm going to go to that really squished pose, and I'm going to push them up. This one was down further than the other one. I'm going to push it up a little bit more to even it out. Now we have closed, and then we have squished, really pushing in the face. Now I'm going to take all of the controls that I've used on this blink, eyelid controls, the eyebrows, and the cheeks. And I'm going to go 3 frames after our end pose. I'm going to go back 1 frame. I'm going to middlemost drag and put that on frame 7. So there's an ease on the open. Now that is too big of an ease. There's too big of a difference between frame 7 and frame 10, so it just looks really floaty, not natural. So now we're going to go back, take either frame 8 or frame 9. I'm thinking frame 9 is probably the better one in this case. I'm going to move it back and key it on frame 7. Now if we play this, I may have pushed her constricting a little too far, so what I'm going to do to soften that is take all of these keys and move them over a frame and key what is now on frame 4. Now we can delete the key that we already have, and that constricting on the down pose is softer. Now let's pretend that she's angry, despite how her facial expression looks. We're going to take what we have here, and we're just going to shrink it, make it much faster. And instead of doing an ease, what we're going to do is an overshoot. So what that means is that instead of slowly coming into position, we're going to go past our ending position, and then it'll snap back. We'll take the eyelids and we're going to open them even further than our ending position. And keep in mind that if one eyelid is touching the iris, or this even counts for the pupil as well, then the other eyelid should be doing the same thing. Because if you have one touching the iris and the other not, it's going to start looking really strange really quickly. Now if we play this, this is a more focused blink. She's really focusing on something in front of her. Now if we undo everything that we just did, now we're back to the one with the ease on it. We're going to make her relaxed, and we're just going to slow this down a lot. Still only hold for 2 frames. Whether she's angry, whether she's sad, it doesn't matter. You can hold for longer if you're trying to get a really internal thinking type of a blink, but you don't want to only hold for 1 frame because it's not going to read that her eyes actually closed. This is a much slower blink. She's much more relaxed, but it all comes back to the roots of 2 frames down, hold for 1 frame, and 3 frames up. Everything looks a little more organic if you put that settle on there. Depending on the style of animation that you're doing, you can just open on 3 and have it stay there. I just find it looks nicer if you put a little bit of an ease on the end of it. And that's all you need to know to do a basic blink. If you found this tutorial helpful at all, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Please let me know if you have any questions on anything that I just showed you, or if there's any topics that you would like me to cover in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and take care.